Welcome to Manga Palate, and this is the show where I, one of your hosts, Mrs. C. Luna, here with my co-host,
Manga Chef Isaiah.
talk about something and compare it to food. And you know what? You got to choose this week. What did you choose?
This week I chose D-frag.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This is not gonna go well.
Uh,
Um, I mean, I'm not saying D-frag is awful. As a matter of fact, I love D-frag. That is not what this is about, though. Okay, so D-frag ran from January 7th, 2014 to March 25th, 2014. Which, by the way, does that feel older? Right? Like, it feels like it was newer than it actually was.
yeah,
From
I
the
think it's
moment in
because of
which
the animation style.
yeah, maybe that's it. Like, as we are currently talking about this, that's like 4 years ago, which, man, it feels like it was a year or two ago. Or maybe it's because I don't know. Alright, yeah, you're probably right. Maybe it's the look. And, ran for 12 episodes, as is usual for shows like this. And its principal cast is sort of made up of the people in a club, I guess. Isaiah, how do you even want to put this? It's just people in a club, right?
Yeah, it's just a school club.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Play games and
on it.
stuff.
Yeah. Although I don't know if it's really about that. But hey, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Um, so there's the lead guy, Kenji Kazuma, voiced by Katsuyuki Konishi, and he
He did a
was
lot of stuff.
oh, he's been working for a long time, like a long, long time. I love that. Like he was on Bleach as that guy with the little tattoo on his face. He's on Hetalia, which all the Fujos love that shit. He's America and Canada because they're brothers, so like they sound alike. And for me, and sort of for you, he's Jonathan Joestar.
Yeah.
So first JoJo, the only actual hero of the entire Joestar family line, because after Jonathan, they're all a fucking mess. Okay,
He's also Ginyu.
he was also Captain Ginyu. Correct.
And he was
Yeah.
also Kenshiro from Hokuto no Ken.
Was it the 2013 one,
I think
or
so.
is it the 80s? I don't think it's the 80s one.
No, it looks like 2013.
Yeah, yeah, when
Uh,
they redid it, and like it looked a lot more shaded to make everything look way more angry. Oh my, oh, they had games for that one, you know, like Dynasty Warriors esque, fucking go around kill things. I have the first one, but not the second one. I still want to find that second one because I like Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors and all that shit. But we're going on a tangent. Also, Roka Shibasaki, who's the president of the club, I think. I don't really know. I'm not sure. She founded it, right? But does that mean
uh,
she's the president?
it's not really explained.
Yeah. Well, I mean, does it matter? No. She's voiced by Kana Hanazawa. Isaiah, how many times have we said that name?
A lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Okay, fine. Fuck you.
No, I got it. I got it.
Okay, yeah. What you got? What you got? What you got?
She was Charlotte from Mission Stratos.
That's good. Yeah. We did talk about it in the Stratos. She was on something else we talked about.
She was also from Yamada-kun. Some witches.
We did not talk about that yet.
I know, but something else to talk about.
Oh, that's true. He was there. I don't know if we're ever gonna talk about that though, considering how intense it is. Maybe just the show.
Oh, she's
but,
Noir on Dog Days.
She's nowhere on Dog Days, but there's a big one. There's a big one. There's the better for our fucking channel.
She's on Nep Nep.
No.
She
Alright,
is
I
on
said
Nep.
Ben. Is
You
she?
mean profile picture?
Yeah, that's what I meant. I mean, literally, it's the first thing people see when they see us.
So she's Megumu from
She's Umu.
Flag.
彼女が flag を折れたら. Yeah. For me, Onodera Kosaki Onodera, not the sister, because the sister's Haru. She's also there. Actually, the person who voiced Haru. You know what? That's not what I'm talking about. Kosaki Onodera from Nisekoi. And she's also very popular for having sung that Renai circulation song for Bakemonogatari. Okay, then there's Takao. Takao is voiced by Shizuka Ito, and I don't think they ever give her a first name. But yeah, Shizuka Ito. Does that name sound familiar?
No, but I do see she was on the
You looking at
part
it right
four.
now, Isaac? Are
Part four.
you looking at it right now?
What?
Are you looking at her credits right now?
I can't do that.
Ah, what a hero. Ah, oh, what a hero. No. It's just like I asked if you remembered anything, and then you immediately went to a list. And we're like, no, but I have this list. Yeah, I think she was in part 4. Who was she then?
She was Jotaro's mom. I mean, not Jotaro. Josuke's
Josuke's
mom.
mom. Oh, okay. Yeah, alright. It's been a while since I
I-
watched that.
Wait, no. No, that's the hair. That's the hair lady. That's
Oh, fuck you. Come on. Yukako?
yeah.
Okay. Good job, Azu. Live research has ruined this podcast. Well, I know this for 100% sure. She's Akeno Himedima on High School DxD, and she was Hilda in Beelzebub. And I'm like 90% sure she was the female lead on Hayate no Gotoku. Yeah, Hayate no Gotoku, Hinegiku. So you tell me. Look at the list. Am I right on that? Control F, my friend. Hilda.
Yeah, she was Hilda.
Okay, Akeno.
Alright, you see the problem is that I had to
You
hover
can't
over
fucking
it.
spell it.
I had to
can't
hover
spell it.
over it to see the name.
Oh. Okay. I would have imagined you were looking at a list of her stuff.
I am, but it has the picture.
Ah. Okay, fine. Well, I was already 1 out of 3, so we're just gonna assume I was okay on the rest, and we can do corrections at some other point. There's also Sakura Mizukami, voiced by Mikako Takahashi. She has not done a lot of things I've seen, but she's there. She was on Hayate no Gotoku also, and she was on Shokugeki no Soma as that lady who's like older than everyone but also tiny. And that's all I got. Do you have anything with your list?
She was. We were doing soccer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was Rebecca.
Oh, and Dog Days.
Yeah.
Oh, we did not really talk about Rebecca, so good. Good. Alright, cool.
Well, was there anything to talk about?
Was there anything to talk about with Dog Days? Alright, look, we say that, but there's probably not a lot here, also.
I could just say she was a mage. She had a magical girl sequence. Did we talk about that? I think we did.
I don't remember. Honestly, we don't really say shit about Dog Days. All we did was laugh. I think all I did was laugh. I can tell you that 100% sure. I think all I did was like laugh about the fact that their names were very long and French and fancy. It was like the Gao Lion Dominion. That still makes me smile. Anyway, again, tangent.
Well,
So-
actually,
Oh,
she was actually a voice actor on this show. The Lion Dominion's voice actor was on the show too.
was that? Are you sure?
I'm pretty
That
sure.
doesn't feel right. Cause it wasn't Ami Koshimizu, was it? Cause Ami Koshimizu is here, but I don't remember that being
No, it
her.
wasn't
her
Ami.
Yeah, no. Who was it? Like off the top of my head, it's a little blank because I don't remember much about Dog Days.
It's fair.
I'm like 90% sure you're wrong on that, dude.
I'm very sure I saw her. Give me a second. Oh, she was Wait, no.
How are you using the internet and you still don't know?
Oh yeah, she was Ami Kosha Mizu.
Was it? That's what I asked. Is it Ami Koshimizu?
Yes, yes.
Fuck you. I was like, wait, was it Ami Koshimizu? Because then, yeah, I guess she was, because she's the teacher. And you're like, no, I don't. No, fuck you, dude. I was wondering if it was Ami. I think it was, but I wasn't sure because I don't remember too much about Dog Days. But yeah, Ami Koshimizu's on the show. She's the teacher, the one with the taser. It's
Yeah.
funny. I more remember her as Kusunoki Kasuga, the karate girl from Kami no Mi. She's also Ibuki Miyoda from Danganronpa 2. So like I remember those more than the fact that she was Leon Micheli. Was it?
Hmm.
I called her Leo, but it was like Leo Micheli or something. It was very long in Italian.
It's exactly Amacelli.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you're using the internet. I have a piece of paper with shit scribbled on it. Anyway, Chiba Saito was Chitose Karasuyama, the girl with earth, and she punches people in the mouth with dirt and stuff. Chiba Saito's fun. She's Chloe on that Fate show. She was Kokoa, the younger sister of Rosarito Vampire, and she's Aoi Asahina in the Danganronpa 3 anime. She's done other things. Those are just the ones I figured that would be the most prevalent to this conversation. Also, Funabori is Akito Yosaki. And the only reason I bring up Funabori is because she's so fun. Because Funabori herself is not a principal member of the cast, I guess. Like their 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 teacher slash club advisor is around less, but goddamn, Funabori's fun. Akito Yosaki was Ai Kunieda on Beelzebub, Yui from K-On!, and Momo, the one of the younger sisters of Lala from Turabidu. And lastly, Kazuma's little sister, Noe Kazuma, is voiced by Emiri Kato. I really like Emiri Kato only because I listened to a shit ton of the music from Bakato Testo, and she was Hideyoshi. She's also on those Fate things as Tatsuko. She's Kagami from Lucky Star, and this is for the Fujos out there. Mei Rin, the red-haired maid who is a sniper on, and also incredibly clumsy as a maid in Kuroshisuji. So yeah, I mean that's kind of it. Mind if I just say, opening theme is fun, but that's
For
it.
yeah, D-frag. Yeah.
Stalemate's cool. So Kenji Kazuma is just some asshole. He's sort of a juvenile delinquent, I guess. Like they phrase it like that, but he doesn't seem like he ever does anything. He has his two friends, and then his friends stop mattering after a minute because he gets kidnapped, so to speak, by a bunch of girls who are part of a club that supposedly make games. And well, after what amounts to a lot of torture, they force him to join their club. I mean, they taser him, they throw dirt in his eye, they kind of waterboard him. They do a lot of things to him. It's awful. It's awful. He's just tortured for like half an hour. And that's kind of it. After that, he's forced to join their little club, and he's just hanging around them all the time. And they're fucking awful people. They're just monsters. Jesus. There's like, all right, Karasuyama, right? Chitose, she constantly just punches people, and she has like dirt in her pockets at all times, which is like kind of weird. But it's because they say, "Oh, we're an elemental group." And it's like, what does that mean? It's like the element of earth that she just punches you in the mouth with a fistful of dirt. That's it. There's no secret there. Shibasaki says she's fire, which at first is her trying to be cutesy, and then also playing with fireworks, like indoors and starting fires and stuff. And then there's the part where she goes, and to reveal my true form is darkness. And then she just like fucking stuffs people's heads in bags and suffocates them. Jabs their eyes out. What a hero. And then there's like their person who's sort of their advisor is also in on the joke because she just tases people and says her element is electricity. Doesn't do anything, just kind of sleeps all day. or when she's in the offices and she's talking with Sean Connery, she's just kind of hanging out. Which, I mean, at the end of the season, when Sean Connery gives her the crystal skull, and then she sees that there's like a hole in its eye that's like the right size for a banana candy, and she puts the banana candy in it and just bursts into light, and she goes, "Whoa!" And everyone just goes, "Man, I didn't think the banana candy was the secret to unlocking the power of the crystal skull." And that has nothing to do with anything. That just happens. Oh, D-frag. You Yep. Well, I mean, the joke is mostly because the thing is, D-frag took a lot of its influence from Young Kama. All of its jokes are very out of nowhere, and that's not to say that it's bad. I do laugh at it. It's just there's no like internal logic to what's happening. It's just constantly forcing you to suspend your disbelief and go along with it. Like there's a part where they're playing like rock paper scissors, and then Shibasaki just makes her hand like a mouth, and then it goes intimidation level 1 swan, and then you hear her make a bird noise like ha, and people are just afraid, and it's like yeah, that's how she wins. And then at a later point they reference that again. She has the same hand, sort of like a little mouth, except this time in the background a velociraptor shows up. And it says intimidation level 2. And there's like just a huge gust of wind that is knocking people back just because she made her hand like a little mouth. It's oh oh it's like that. It's a lot. I mean, sorta. That's what I mean. They get referenced later, but it's not so that they play off of each other competitively. It's more just like referential to the same random bullshit they made at the beginning. Like I said, it's not a bad thing. It's just for a lot of people, it's like, fuck, what's happening? It's like it is what it is. Okay, you're either in on this or you're not. Like like they consistently make references to Takao, who's the president of the other game club, and is mad that they call themselves the game club, which is the president of the other game club. And a lot of people make comments about her very, very, very large chest. Like they just say that constantly. It's something about like the other guys in the school just going like, "Oh, you talk about Takao? You mean the Takao?" And then there's like a picture of her like wearing the gym uniform, and they go like, "Ah, her shirt is stretched so tight," and it's like, "Huh." Is that just so you don't have to fight them anymore? You can just talk to them about girls and they'll stop fighting you? And it's like, sorta? The second they start talking about girls, they stop wanting to fight people. Which, the reason people are fighting to begin with is just kind of because it doesn't... I don't know. See, like, that's just it. It's really apropos of nothing. It's like this guy shows up and he goes, "Hey, I was part of the game club before." And then Kazuma goes like, "Cool. Why the hell am I here then if you were already part of the game club?" It's like, "Well, I just kind of hang out here. I don't really do anything. And also, nobody seems to really like me. But I love them." It's like, all right, whatever. Because I want to duel you for the right of being the guy in the group. He's like, "What? It's stupid." He's like, "No, come on, let's do it." And then Shibasaki goes like, "You're gonna fight over me?" And he goes like, "No, I don't fucking want to fight over you." And then she gets mad and goes, "Fine, I'll beat the shit out of both of you." And that's what starts the fight. And then everyone in the school just decides we're gonna get in on this too. That's it. There's no reason, I guess. I guess they all just want to curry the favor of Shibasaki because she's supposed to be considered really cute and stuff. But I'm like perturbed by how much of a weirdo she is. So I I don't really care. Just stuffing people's heads and backs and suffocating them. Or lighting firecrackers indoors where they start fires. And everyone else is just kind of afraid that they're gonna die there. What ends up happening is that ends, and then they go, maybe we should go see what other schools are up to, and then it ends up in stupid competitions. But that's kind of it. It's it. There's nothing else that happens. And anyway, that's just precedent for jokes. Like the only purpose in doing all that setup is to go, hey, maybe it has less to do with these guys being weirdos and more to do with every game club being fucking weirdo, and that this is just the way things are. And then Kazuma's like, I didn't want to be part of this to begin with. I hate all of you. Almost consistently do they just shit on him. And it's pretty funny. It's not to say like I know it sounds like I'm saying this like, oh man, this show's fucking sucks. No, it's just really absurd, and there's not a lot for me to say besides like it's dumb and it's goofy. And if you're into that, it's great. And if you're not, there's literally nothing here for you. Like there's a joke when they're doing the little fight thing where like Takao gets in like the fight tournament thing, and when like Kazuma goes like, "Why do you want to get in the fight tournament thing?" And it's because she likes him, and she thinks that by winning this, he'll have won Shibasaki's affection. So she's trying to beat him so that he doesn't fucking have to end up going out with her or whatever. I don't know what's going through her head, but this is sort of what it is. And then so she tries to push him off. Mind you, they're on like a stupid like big ring where like if you push someone out they lose, which is also why when like Shibasaki does the velociraptor hand thing, people are just flying off of the ring. They're like collapsing into the ground. They're going, my god, do you feel that pressure? So the guy tries to push him and he goes like, no, get the fuck, what are you doing? Why are you trying to fucking shove me? What do you actually want to compete with me? And she was like, well, I mean, you wouldn't get it. And he was like, what? Fuck, come on. Fuck you. I don't want to lose to these assholes. Which is fair, because why the hell would he want to lose to a bunch of weirdos? Who feels good getting beaten by someone who might as well be, like, functionally retarded? That's not a good feeling. And his entire, principle of character is defined by his desire to, like, win no matter the cost. Like, he cheats and stuff, because that's just kind of the guy he is. And he's more concerned with like winning things and being better than other people than anything else, which is why when people shit on him and dunk on him, it's kind of satisfying. But yeah, so it's like I was trying to push him, and then he goes like, "Come on, don't be a shit," and she goes like, "Screw you." And then, mind you, she hasn't zipped up her jacket, and people make a comment about the fact that she hasn't zipped up her jacket, and then like it's kind of drawing attention. So she decides to zip up her jacket, but apparently she never bought a larger jacket, so it's like she's been in the school a year or two, and when she bought the jacket in the first year, it fit perfectly, but over time her like chest and shoulders have grown, so now the jacket doesn't really close properly. So she tries to do it anyway, and the zipper flies off and knocks Kazuma unconscious.
Yep.
At which point, like, it becomes a trend within the school for girls to go, I can do that too. Like, as a matter of fact, they make a point in the next episode that when it opens after Kazuma's been knocked unconscious, they go like, hey, just so you know, that zipper thing you did, that's really fucked up a bunch of people. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? Well, there's some girls who are like, yeah, I have boob power too. And then they try to do it. And then one girl failed and got depressed and just stopped coming to school. See, like, that's really dumb. If you can appreciate that joke, then great. If you can't, you really shouldn't watch this show, because that's kind of all it is. It's nothing but that. It's like, is that a giant robot? No. It's a robot that's it's operated by a girl inside of it. There's a girl inside of the robot? Yeah. She's from the higher grade in the school. Why is she inside of the robot? Well, she can't really fight on her own. And then she comes out of the robot because they spun the robot around. She's just vomiting all over the ground because they spun her around. And they're like, oh, I remember her. Yeah, how's it going, Pukey? And he's like, shut up. And he's like, yeah. Wait, you call her Pukey? He goes like, well, like almost every time we've ever seen her, she's been vomiting. So that's Pukey. What's up, Pukey? And she goes, I hate you guys. And then just goes back to vomiting. What a noble hero Pukey is.
Or the first time they meet the really tall giant guy. They were like in the cultist outfits, and they end up like trying to get him to join the club, but then he ends up punching Kenji ends up punching a really tall guy because he's scared of him in the makeup when he takes off his mask.
Oh no, that's in the other. Oh wait, he takes off his mask.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it was like second episode.
Oh, you mean the other game creator club?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's where Takao even comes from. Like there's another club that makes games, but they're like really serious about making video games. And then there's three members: an effeminate guy, a girl with glasses, and a tall buff guy. And there's a part where they realize that Kazuma probably won't hit a girl. So the really big buff guy like puts on makeup and like hair extensions to look like he is a girl. And Kazuma goes like, "You're not a girl," and just punches him in the mouth. But the effeminate guy who is dressed like a girl, he believes is a girl, so he doesn't hit him.
And for the rest of the show, he doesn't. He always dresses up like a girl around him.
Well,
Like,
it's
oh,
probably
Kenji's here.
yeah. He goes, "Oh shit, Kazuma's here. I have to dress like a girl, otherwise he's gonna realize I'm a guy and then probably beat me up for doing all that shit I did last time." But like, yeah, like that's pretty much the show. Like, there's a part where Takao wants to buy a game, and Kazuma's with her, and they're standing in line for a while. And Shibasaki shows up, and it's like, oh, she's gonna think we're on a date, and then like they borrow a guy's robe, like a guy's wearing a wizard robe, like it's a cosplay because they're buying what is basically like weird Dragon Quest. And there's a guy dressed as a wizard. So they go like, "Hey, give me the wizard robe." And he wears the wizard robe, and like Takao's just pressed up really tight against him from behind. And she goes like, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "What are you doing here?" And he goes, "Well, I mean, I'm here to buy the game." And she's like, "Really? I didn't know you were a fan of this game." And he goes like, yeah." She goes like, "Then what's his catchphrase?" And he has to do a stupid like fucking spell dance with the two idiots next to him in line. And then he just goes, "Okay, cool." And then she fucks off. Like, that, it's very weird out of nowhere, but it's just kind of the joke. That's it. If you could laugh at that, fantastic. If you can't, I'm sorry. I love Funabori, but like Funabori is only there to be like really nice and to be uncomfortable with everybody really liking her.
Yeah.
But like that's kind of it. The joke about Funabori is she's a very nice, sweet girl getting wrapped up in the bullshit of everyone around her.
I guess the show didn't get like. It's definitely not like a cheesecake. It doesn't have too many layers.
It doesn't have a lot going on, no. I still like it. As a matter of fact, my favorite character shows up way later in the manga, and she has like a vague cameo in the background of like the last episode of the season, which just kind of sucks for me. It's like, oh, I remember her because she had the best gimmick. Her gimmick is she looks scary, but she's actually like the nicest, sweetest girl in the entire school, and everyone looks up to her. But she has like a face that looks like a weird doll, like sort of like one of those old like Ningyo things that are like the old black and white porcelain dolls that are kind of creepy. Like that's what she looks like. And then they go like, "Oh yeah, she must be like a villain." And then they start talking to her, and they go like, "Oh my god, she's the best person in this. You're the only person I genuinely like in this school." I feel awful about that now. Like she's making a fucking like a, what do you call it? She's doing like needlework and just sitting there. And he goes like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I assumed a lot of you. Oof, man, do I look like an asshole?" Yeah. Like they'll cut to her, like the way they cut to Funabori as like, "Man, isn't she nice? It's unfortunate you're stuck with all of these fucking lunatics." Man, D-frag. The Velociraptor or the part where Funabori puts the bag on her head. Because like Kazuma has something in his bag, I think. And then like his friends are trying to go through his bag, and then he throws his bag to Funabori. He goes like, "Please protect my bag." And she goes like, what do I?" And he goes like, "Just fucking put it somewhere they're not gonna take it." And she goes, she starts imagining where she can put it. She goes like, "If I put it under my shirt or under my skirt, then that would be." He was like, "Why are you just standing there? Fuck it, just put the bag somewhere." And then she just opens the bag and puts it on her head. And then the guys go like, "Well, not gonna touch that." That'd make me seem weird. And then he goes like, thanks, I guess. And she goes, you have to treat your things better. And that's kind of that's the end of that. Funabori.
I think the thing I like about the show though is like every like second is a joke. They don't miss a beat.
It's very rapid fire, yeah. But that's my point. But like the jokes aren't like they're not like thought out. They're just all pretty ridiculous, and some are callbacks to other ridiculous things. Like fucking Mizukami, right? Sakura, the pink-haired girl. Her thing is, I'm the water element. So there's an entire chapter dedicated to her competing to get really, really nice spring water, and everyone else gets wrapped in the process of like helping her get the spring water. As I remember, I'm the water person. So there's really, really nice water at the end if you win this race. So I'm all in. That's kind of it. But that's such a bizarre callback to minute 1, where they go, "We're all elemental." What does that mean? And then like she just kind of waterboards him by throwing the water bottle in his face. Oh, D-frag is really funny, but it's really weird, and I don't know if that's an easy thing to like explain. I would say it's the kind of show where like if you appreciate any of those things I just said, check it out. It's consistent in its jokes, but there's nothing there besides the jokes. So
If you don't like the jokes, don't watch D-frag.
I feel like there's nothing else to D-frag besides the joke. Which means if you don't like the joke, there's nothing about D-frag. You know?
Yeah.
Like the most you could say is, some of the girls are drawn pretty cute. It's like, yeah, but ultimately they all serve just to be some sort of weird goofball. And the only reason they're here is to be like kind of cute, but then you realize she's a fucking weirdo, and you're like, Jesus, it must be awful to have to sit around her all the goddamn time. Shibasaki, the worst out of everyone, like the randomly putting bags on people's heads and strangling them out, like lighting fires. Or I remember this in the manga. For some reason, an asteroid, like a meteorite, lands on her house, and she goes to like Kazuma's house and goes like, "Hey, I'm gonna live here now." And he goes, "What?" He's like, "Come on, my house got destroyed by a meteor." He goes, "What the fuck do you mean a meteor landed on your house?" And she goes, "Come on, be cool. Don't you want a really cute, lovely girl?" He goes like, "No, not you. No, leave." And then her little sister, who is significantly taller than her, goes like, "Don't be a shitty." And he goes, "Fine, whatever. Fuck you guys." The girl is just, like all of them are kind of weird, but like Shibasaki's just the worst of them. I can't remember if the anime had this scene in it, but I remember there's like in the manga there's a part where they do the story of Momotaro. Do you know that story? It's a Japanese folktale that I feel I've brought up at some point.
I don't
No?
remember it.
Okay, fine. So Momotaro's the story of this guy who was like born out of a peach. There's like this old couple is living by a river, and then one day the old lady goes out to wash the clothes, and she sees a peach like coming down the river. And he goes like, "What the fuck is that?" So her and her husband grab the peach, and then when they break it open, instead of a pit, because it's like a giant peach, instead of a pit is a baby, and then they raise the baby, and they name him Momotaro. Momo meaning peach, and Taro just being a generic guy name, like saying Bill. So they go like, "All right, Momotaro, you're going to live with us." And he grows up, and then they go. He goes, "I should probably like do something with my life. I can't just live here all day." And he goes like, "I heard that there are demons on a mountain. I mean, there's demons on an island. I'm gonna go and fuck them up, and then like build my own fortune." His parents are like, "Okay." So they give him some food, and they go like, "Just go. I mean, like, we don't really want you to get hurt, but if you want to go and find your path, go ahead and find your path." And along the walk, he runs into like a dog, a pheasant, and a monkey, and he gives them each a piece of his food. and they start hanging out with him. And then he just goes to the island, fucks up a bunch of demons, and goes like, "All right, life is good now." And like D-frag does that, but where like Kazuma's Momotaro and like some of the club members are animals. But like when Shibasaki shows up as the pheasant, she's like 1,000 feet taller than everything. She's a giant, like, sort of monster. And they go like, "What the fuck are you?" She goes like, "I'm clearly a pheasant." I go, "Pheasants are not like 700 feet tall." And she goes like, "Yeah, but I'm a pheasant. Would you like me to help you?" They're like, sure." It's so fucking weird and dumb. I like it, but it's not the kind of thing that I feel you could explain to people and go like, "Come on." Like, you need to see it to really appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know? It's like the Three Stooges, where if I just explain they're hitting each other, that doesn't sound very funny.
When you see it.
You see it, you either like it or you don't. Yeah, you either like it or you don't. It's either this is dumb, awesome, or this is dumb, I hate it. Like, this is dumb, I love it, is like Dog Days. Like, Dog Days is stupid and empty and nothing, but I love it. And D-frag is sort of the same thing. Where it's stupid, it's dumb, it's empty, but I like it.
So what's the difference between Dog Days?
The difference between Dog Days and D-frag is that D-frag is survives by its jokes. The reason it's nothing is because there's no like overarching narrative that nothing really matters. It's more just premise to joke. Versus Dog Days has a narrative. It's just that the narrative has no consequence. So whether or not anything happens, nothing really did happen. Like, Dog Days will throw jokes in there, but the essence of Dog Days isn't a joke. The essence of Dog Days is, wow, look at this adventure. You know? Like, there's a narrative, it's just that there are no consequences to the narrative. Because people don't really die, there's no stakes, there's no anything. There's only one time when there's kind of anything, and that's at the end of the first season. And that's literally it. Versus, the reason you would like D-frag is for the jokes. Beyond the jokes, there's nothing there. Everything is premised to the joke. The reason you have people coming in and out is just so you can tell more and more elaborate jokes. And you can do callbacks, like you said, where you start a joke in one episode, and then like 6 episodes later, you go back and reference that joke again to double down on how stupid things can be. But it's not that there's like a cohesive narrative here. It's more just It's more just setup to joke, setup to joke, setup to joke, setup to joke, 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 setup, joke, setup, joke, setup, joke. Long setup. Joke at the end of the episode. Joke that rolls over to the next step. Like, that's the difference. Like, Dog Days doesn't survive off of jokes. Dog Days survives off of how just completely out of, like, it's supposed to take you on a story, but the story has no consequence. Like remember, one of the conflicts in Dog Days is, oh shit, she's supposed to sing at a concert, but she's not here. So we gotta go get her. Like, that's not anything. There's nothing to that.
I mean, unless the guys are gonna hurt her, but they don't.
They don't. That's what I mean by, like, there's actually no conflict. There's no tension. There's nothing there. But I enjoyed the stupid ride versus in D-frag, nothing is really anything. There is no actual narrative. There's only premise to joke. So D-frag is the kind of thing where it's more like, it's like the Three Stooges, like I was saying, where it's just kind of an excuse to laugh. The premise is entirely unimportant. I would argue that, like, if I were going to compare D-frag to something else, it would be to Yonkoma, where Yonkoma just has, like, 4 panels, set up in one, build in second, punchline 4. That's it. And that's kind of all D-frag is. It's like 30 minutes of a Yonkoma, and continually going and going and going. But D-frag isn't a Yonkoma, it just has the comedic sensibilities of a Yonkoma. So it doesn't mean that, like, there's an overarching narrative or that there's just like a really consistent, concise bit. It's more just 20 minutes of a bit. Versus Dog Days doesn't have bits.
It doesn't have anything.
It doesn't have anything, yeah. I would say that, like, D-frag is the show that lives and dies by its jokes. That's what I would say the difference between D-frag and Dog Days is. They're both nothing, but they're very different kinds of nothing.
This is more like comedy and
Correct.
nothing. D-frags were, Dog Days is more like narrative
Just
and nothing.
yeah, narrative with no depth, and this is jokes with no depth. That's the difference.
Uh,
And I'm not saying I dislike D-frag. I'm just saying it's very hard to talk about it without just throwing the jokes out there and going like, eh, because there's actually nothing else to say about D-frag.
yeah, you like the joke?
Yeah, exactly. That's all D-frag
No.
is. Is if you can sit there and like laugh all the time, good. If someone recites it to you, does it make you chuckle? Good. If it doesn't, well then shit, there's like literally nothing here for you. There's sort of like
The
vague.
opening.
There's like I mean yeah the song, but like you don't have to watch the show to hear the song.
Yeah.
You could just download the single, and it's whatever. Which I should also mention, song really really good. Stalemate. Like, there's a lot of really interesting like chromaticism that in the guitar part for the breaks to the chorus. The bass lines are also like they're matching the guitar in thirds. But you know what? That's just me being a music nerd. And the point is, if you're not that kind of like super invested in music, it's not really going to mean much. It's going to sound nice, but it's not going to have like a lot of depth to it. Although I would say, in terms of like actually playing the guitar and shit, oh, it's super interesting. I really like it. It's a fun song. But yeah, I mean, like if you don't like the jokes D-frag, then like there's actually nothing else here. So the difficulty here, if we were going to come up with a food analogy, is what's something that has only one thing going for it, and otherwise is completely empty. Because I mean, do you have anything to say?
Um, can we say cotton candy again?
Not exactly, because that's the thing. Cotton candy is completely empty. You know, like Dog Days is completely empty.
I mean,
I
only
feel that
thing has actually no, never mind.
yeah, like the jokes have things to them. Like I said, there's callbacks going forward, so it's like it's expecting you to stick with it and then be able to reinterpret those jokes. Like there's a layer that's like, we brought that bitch back. How'd you like that? Like
The layer was based off of nothing, so
the layer's just the jokes, yeah, but it's not actually nothing because Dog Days didn't even have jokes.
um,
And I know, like, I say that, and people are probably like, man, it doesn't sound like he loves Dog Days. It's like, no, I fucking love Dog Days. I can totally watch Dog Days over and over and over again, compared to, like, fucking watching High School DxD again. I don't think I could do that. I'll totally watch Dog Days. I'm probably not gonna watch High School DxD again. Like, not for anything. Unless it's, like, to rip out little gifs of, like, the guy flailing around with the slime on his face. That's probably why I would watch it. Because I'll still love that. Or like the slime lands on his face. He's like, fuck! I gotta save my friends! What's happening? Like, there's nothing really funny to me about that. But like, that's it. Versus I genuinely enjoy Dog Days. And this, on the other hand, has something more to it than actually nothing. But it's still not a lot. It's like thicker than cotton candy, but nowhere near as thick as a cake.
I was gonna say like something that you only like, but if other people don't like it, you don't really mind, because
Oh, okay, yeah,
like
something
that.
that I'm fond of that like it's an either you love it or you hate it kind of thing.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, that works. That works.
trying to think of something like that.
You know
Like,
something?
oh, what?
I've felt this to be like a thing. You either like shrimp or you really don't fucking care for shrimp. I've never met anyone who is ambiguous on shrimp. Have
Really?
you?
No,
Yeah, I've
that's
never met anyone who's been ambiguous on shrimp.
no.
It feels to me that you either like shrimp or you don't like shrimp, and you're like, nah, I'm not about that. Like I know people who have been like, nah, like shellfish, I'm out. I don't really like them. Versus like people who like it, fucking like it, you know. And like shrimp, if you're like not eating a shit ton, isn't very filling. Like, you ever get popcorn shrimp?
Yeah, I think it's more like popcorn shrimp.
No, that's what I mean. Like, no, just the concept of shrimp.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like, specifically popcorn shrimp, yeah. But, like, shrimp isn't very filling on its own. You need it to eat it with other things.
Yeah. Or like
Unless
a
you
French
eat a
fry.
shit... Yeah, unless you eat a shit ton of shrimp, you know?
Mhm.
You're either eating a lot of shrimp, or you're eating a couple of shrimp with other things, because on its own, it can't really stand. And I feel that like, sort of reflects the jokes in D-frag. They're like, that's kind of it. If you like this, then you'll be in, because this is kind of all it is. And there's a lot of it. Versus, if you don't like this, I would say just ignore this altogether. So tell me, how do you feel about popcorn shrimp?
I feel like it works, but I kind of wanted a candy. I
You
feel
want
like
something sweet?
cause
I don't
still
know.
like fish is still like substance. I know it's not a lot of substance, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how I feel about D-frag, that there is almost no substance. And
that's
that's
the
how
thing. Shrimp has some
I
substance.
I disagree. If only in my experience of like I can't eat I can't eat one shrimp and be satisfied. I need like 60.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
And that's what I mean by like it's to like reflect the joke. Cuz it's not one joke an episode. It's like 70. And it's every episode. Know what I mean? Like I view the sweetness as more like fluffy and romantic and that kind of shit.
Uh, this is just
Yeah.
take it or leave it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if in the manga, like later on, they sort of play up the weird pseudo harem thing going on, like where everyone is kind of into Kazuma. But like, as far as the show is concerned, it's kind of just Takao and Shibasaki. It's kind of it. Everybody else is just kind of around, you know. So to that end, it's not really about that, and that's that. On top of it just being them, it's really like subtle. It's more just Takao than Shibasaki. Shibasaki will make a reference towards it once in a while, but Takao seems to be actively pursuing him in a way, and he just doesn't really notice or care. Versus in the manga, everyone seems to be kinda in one way or another.
Oh, so because we're like a harem.
Yeah, that's what I mean by like it sort of pushes a harem angle past a certain point. But like the anime, it's just really focused on the joke, and there's like nothing else there, and it's not really like sweet. It's just kind of it's nice, yeah, but there's not a lot there besides that. And that's my thing is like when I say sweets, I usually mean like stuff that seems fluffy or like romantic or nice, you know. The jokes aren't nice; they're just funny. There's no like inherent like warm feeling with regards to the joke, you know. The joke is just the joke. It's like if I were to say, give you a really dumb joke, like, and you either laugh or you don't. It doesn't really do anything beyond that. The laugh might be worth something, but it's not like fulfilling, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like warming. It's just like, huh, that was a good one.
But
Yeah, go on.
what about lettuce?
Lettuce.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, lettuce is also good, like a
'cause-
salad, right?
Yeah.
Like salad, you have to eat a lot of it, or you're not full. And
you have
lettuce
to
is
put, like,
mostly.
some dressing on it,
I mean, I disagree with that, but yeah,
or some people do.
yeah, because I've never eaten like salad with dressing. I've
Because they
only
feel
ever.
like it can't eat just that on its own, just salad on its own.
Yeah, but like the thing is, still, you would need a lot of salad to do. But that implies that there's something missing here, right?
Mhm.
And is there?
I think so.
I don't know if it's missing anything. I think it is what it is, and you either like it or you don't. Because like I don't feel like there's any way to make it better. It just
could
kind
be a
of
harem.
yeah, but that's more just playing to our taste. I mean, for what it is, could it actually go anywhere? Not really. Because D-frag's just jokes. Like the manga makes it a pseudo harem. It's not even a harem, like where it actually enforces the romantic aspects of it. But it's like, oh no, we're following who likes him today. No, it's just more like everyone seems vaguely in, and they're like there's a part where Karasuyama gets locked inside of the robot by accident. Which that robot comes back for whatever fucking reason. But like and then everyone says, oh yeah, she hates like being in the dark enclosed spaces. She always freaks the fuck out. And they go like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, then what's gonna happen if we get her out? She's probably gonna lose her shit. And they go like, but like, does that mean we can just leave her there? And like, well, no, we can't leave her there, but I'm afraid of getting her out. And everyone just kind of keeps passing the buck. It's like, I'm not opening it. No, I'm not opening it. She's gonna fucking maul me. I'm not opening it. I'm not opening it. And then Kazuma just goes like, fine, fuck it, I'll open it. And it opens it, and then it shows like from her perspective that she's freaking out. And she just like really hates the dark and she's like all kind of scared and shit. So then she jumps out and she just like hugs onto Kazuma like really hard and is like crying and babbling and like in a way that's kind of hard to understand. Because she's sort of like reverted to when she was a kid and she was scared shitless of the dark. And she still kind of is. But then, like, the other girls are just watching, like, you gonna let go anytime soon? And then Kazuma's just like, okay. I mean, I could do this. I've done this for my sister. Hey, take it easy. It'll be okay. It'll be fine. He, like, starts stroking her hair and shit. And then she, like, continues babbling in what sounds like random gibberish, I guess, because she's crying. And she touches his hair. You know, his hair is like absurdly, comically spiky.
Yeah.
Right. She
The
touches his hair. Yeah. Yep. They also did the same joke for his sister. So she touches his hair, then like freezes and goes like, "Hey, wait. Oh shit. Oh well, I mean, and then she like steps down and like suplexes him. And then he goes, why? I was helping you. Man, you guys suck. And, like, that's kind of it. But then after that, she's like, goes, well, it was very comforting. Like, that's what I mean. But, like, it's sort of a thing, but it's not really. It's still mostly focused on the jokes. And I don't feel like it's missing anything. I feel like it could be better, but what D-frag is jokes, you know? It's essentially a young coma. And young coma are just jokes. That's it. It's like a comic strip. You just really have the joke there. Like, tell me, is Garfield ever going to be anything besides a fucking cat just going, this sucks? No, right?
Yeah.
And is it missing anything? Not really. It just is what it is. And you either like it or you don't. That's how I feel about D-frag. That it's funny. I think it's funny, at least. But there's nothing else it could be. It just is what it is. And to be honest, with these girls being the fucking complete nutballs that they are, do you really think he would really want to go out with any of them?
No.
No, fuck that.
Maybe.
They're all a mess. All of them.
Maybe the Vaughn one.
Yeah, Shibasaki? No,
Yeah.
she's the worst one.
But she was the first one, so, you know.
Oh, well, following harem rules, a first girl wins, yeah. No, but I mean, like, would he? No, because
No.
it seems like every experience he's had with all of them sucks. The only ones that he seems to be very fond of are, like, Kudanshita, the girl who I said has, like, a very evil-looking face, and Funabori, that's it. And then everyone else is, like, a fucking disaster.
And you're right. Like, he never changed from being a delinquent either, so.
Nah, he's still just kind of a jerk.
But he's not, like, a delinquent, like they keep saying he is.
Yeah, they say delinquent. He was never much of a delinquent. He was just kind of a jerk. And he's never really changed.
So I think the story could be something if they, like, focus on him changing, then it could be, like, a harem. Like, oh, well, look, Nike have fun.
Yeah, but that's not what it is it?
Yeah.
That's my point. If they had set it up with, oh, maybe he gets softer over time and gets to be closer with them, then I would buy that. But he doesn't. His reason for existing is to be the straight man to their goofy bullshit. Yeah, like they're complete whack jobs, and then he says, "Does no one else think this is retarded?" And then that's pretty much it. Because with every like a Boke and Tsukomi, right? You need a Boke and the Tsukomi. You need someone to be goofy and retarded, and someone who's not gonna take that shit. And that's kind of all this ever was. Except it's stretched out to having like 6 buckets.
Maybe we're trying to like make it a harem too much, but it's not. Well,
I'm just
maybe I
saying.
am.
Yeah, I'm just saying, when you say, oh, it could be something else, for what D-frag started as and set out to be, and consistently is, I don't think there's anything missing so much as it's just not a harem, or it's just not a thing. Where, yeah, I would probably like it better if it was one of those things, but that's not what it is, you know? It's like it's like you go, man, this horror movie would be better if we focused on the romance between those two characters. Yeah, but then it'd be a completely different movie, wouldn't it?
Yeah, what would it be? I think it would be like the what's that show with the one guy you like that's a tennis player, and the guy goes,
Yahari Ore?
yeah, I think it would be like that.
Yahari Ore
Maybe.
is different. Because Yahari Ore is based on the guy being a miserable fucking, like, pessimist. And, like, well, what's the word? Misanthrope. Like, it's not that he's a jerk. It's that he doesn't actually really like people. It'd be different if it was that he's just an asshole. Because that's more like one of those shows where, like, the main guy is a delinquent and then he learns to be a good guy, you know? Like fucking Otokojuku or something. That's different. Like, Yahari Ore is more about him not being able to connect with people and just, like, just wanting to do the minimal possible so that he can keep on trucking and live his life. Like, he doesn't want to interact with people. He just wants to do whatever the fuck he can to keep on trucking and just leave. And he thinks he's a misanthrope. He kind of hates the people around him. He just hates people in general because he seems to feel that all of it is very fake and posturing and that kind of shit. But then over time, through interacting with people, he warms up to and realizes that everyone has layers and depth and that everyone has their own journey they're going on. And just because they don't fucking show it to you doesn't mean that, you know, they're miserable shitheels who have nothing going on with them. It just means they don't talk to you. Everyone has their own thing going on. And some people, they're like a little more like facetious than others. Some people are a little more like just about wanting to be recognized than others. Some people live off of the desire to, you know, to have others like them and other people don't. Like, it's understanding and learning those nuances that make him want to reevaluate his life and become a better person and become genuine with other people. Like, that's the story there. In this case, it's just like a guy who's stuck with a bunch of fucking lunatics and he goes, man, I hate this. At every given moment. It's every given moment they do something even more stupid, and he goes, fuck you guys. And you know what? Rewatching D-frag, it reminds me of this manga I read a while ago called Fujimura Kumetsu, which is similar in terms of guy is stuck with weird assholes. Mm-hmm. But the difference is Fujimura Kumetsu really gambles on the they love him thing. Like, they're all, it's sort of like it's like D-frag where like the comedy is sort of like Yonkoma where like, wow, this girl is fucking weird. But they're only weird insofar that they're attempting to garner his attention. Mm-hmm. It's not that they're just like assholes who bully him. It's more like they're weird, they're trying to garner his attention, and the way that they do that is weird because they are weird at the end of the day. Like, there's a girl who shows up and goes like, hey, are you gonna come to the door so I can give you your homework? And he's like, no, fuck that noise. He's also kind of a delinquent. And that's why he doesn't really go to school much. She goes like, come on, come to the door. And he's like, nah, I don't really wanna. And she grabs his cat and he goes like, is this your cat? And he goes like, yeah. Like, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna hurt the cat. And he goes like, she goes, no. But I'm gonna take this magic marker and I'm gonna draw it, paint its nipples black. And he was like, why are you gonna do that to, what the fuck is wrong? What does that even mean? What does that have anything to do with me? She was like, if you don't want me to do it, then get out here and talk to me. See, like, that's also goofy and weird and stupid, but it's ultimately just to get him to talk to her.
Yeah.
And then as he gets to talk to her, she, like, makes it very clear that she's interested in him and wants to go out with him. And then he's like, I don't know, you're weird, you know? Versus this show is completely different, because, like, he hates them most of the time.
And you just keep doing it.
is mad, and then they keep doing it, and then they'll like show that they kind of like him, and he goes, "Why the fuck would I like you after everything you put me through? You're all awful, all of you, except you, Funabori. You're cool." Like that's pretty much it. And then later, when Kushi gets like pushed forward, he's like, "Man, I love Kushi Senpai. She's great. She's such a nice girl. Not like all these fucking weirdos I have to sit with." And then that's probably why I like Kushi and Funabori so much, because they're very nice people, but they're also caught up in the dumb bullshit of everyone around them. But unlike Kenji Kazuma, where like he's in the middle of it all the time, they're peripherally around. Like during the stupid competition thing, like Funabori is made to help all the people out, but she's also dressed in like an old weird nurse outfit with like a pencil skirt and like wings to show that she's an angel of mercy.
Yeah.
So she's helping patch people up, but she's also stuck in this fucking costume and sitting at the sidelines waiting for people to get injured. So yeah, I mean, D-frag lives and dies by a joke, so I would say that there is something there, but it's just not gonna be anything else. And then, so like the lettuce thing implies that there's something missing, versus I don't think D-frag set out to be a harem thing or set out to be this, you know?
But what was the motive for the girls making those absurd jokes? Is it just because they like making those jokes?
Yeah, because they think it's funny. They like the reason the girls talk like that is because, you know, that's what they're like. It's like the way we make fighting game references or references to why do we do that? It's just shit we like. So we happen to talk like that. It's not like a active thing that we're going like, look at that cool. It's just the way we talk because it's all the shit we think about. Like when I talk about something and I like use a music reference to like sort of guide my way through it, it's because music is what I know really well, and it's just what I talk about. And like the jokes we make is for us to laugh, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah,
the jokes they make is for them. They seem to think it's funny. And then like to anyone else, they're like, "You're a weird asshole." And it's like, well, yeah, I know. And they just continue doing it. They just keep doing it.
The problem with shrimp, now that I took that into consideration, is that I know a lot of people that like shrimp. Like, it's not specific enough just for like us.
No, but that's my point. But like, it's either you like it or you don't like it. There's no in between.
Yeah, but I feel like it's a pretty common thing.
You know? I know, but these kind of jokes aren't all that fucking weird. If you read Yonkoma, they're pretty much every Yonkoma. Like this style of joke, of absurdity. As a matter of fact, we don't even have to limit it to Yonkoma, because like a lot of fucking manga and anime use this style of joke, where it's just really weird and absurd. The Boken Tsukome routine is so engendered in Japanese comedic sensibilities that like live shows and tons of like comedian routines are based on the one person's a weird asshole, other person insults them. I'm not saying it's like super goofy and out there. I'm just saying it's the kind of thing that you're either into or you're not into. Like I can list dozens of shows that have this sort of a comedic sensibility. I can list dozens of manga that have this comedic sensibility. But they're not super huge. You either like it or you don't. And D-frag is a show that when it came out was really big, but it didn't stay consistently big. Because enough people laughed at it, but not enough people were super in on it. You tell me the amount of people that fucking eat shrimp all day, every day, and nonstop.
Alright, you're right. Like, I don't know anybody that eats it all the time.
Yeah, and that's my point. Like, D-frag is great. It's fun. But it's not the kind of show with consistent lasting power. Like, everyone is always in. You know? It's a thing you either like or you don't like. And if you like it, you'll do it every once in a while. If you don't like it, then you never really go at it. Fucking D-frag got one season. One. You compare that to like fucking
Dog Days.
High School DxD or Dog Days that lasted way longer on fucking weirder things. High School DxD has 4 seasons, Isaiah. Like that's a show that like really lasted. There's like something really intensely there. For other people, maybe not for us. But D-frag, you either like that kind of humor or you don't. And on top of that, if you like it, then you're about it. but I rarely meet people who are all about it, you know?
Yeah, just like you really see people eating shrimp all the time.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah.
And the lettuce analogy implies that you would need to have something with it, which I don't feel that for Yonkoma kind of like Bokus Sukoma routine, you need anything besides what it is. You just either like it or you don't. There's not much there besides that. Like I love fucking Gaki no Tsukai, right? And it's like a Japanese variety show, which is mostly just four guys. One guy will function as the straight guy, the other guy will the other guys will be stupid, and that's kind of it. Where they just tell fucking really dumb jokes, and the other guy sort of stops them, like making fun of them and shit. And like some of it is slapstick, and you know what? Slapstick either lands or it doesn't. There's no in between on slapstick. No one's like, I'm kind of okay with slapstick. I've never met anyone who's like, I mean, yeah, it's funny. I'm not really, you know. It's either like, oh yeah, that's fucking great, or, eh. And that's how I've seen people treat shrimp. Where it's either like, yeah, I fucking love shrimp. I wouldn't eat it all the time, but I love shrimp. Or, nah, I don't really like shrimp. And shrimp is not the kind of thing that'll fill you on its own. You need a lot of shrimp.
Okay.
I mean, tell me if you got anything else, then by all means. Because the lettuce thing implies that there's something missing.
What about like
I don't really...
nerds? You know those nerds?
Yeah.
I don't know that many people that really like nerds.
I also like nerds.
I don't eat it all the time.
But the thing about nerds is it's like sweet. And like to me the sweetness analogy is always about like fluffy romance kind of crap, you know? Like something that makes you feel warm inside.
Yeah.
This doesn't fucking do that. This really, really doesn't fucking do that. It just makes me laugh. But it doesn't make me laugh from a place where it's like, oh, that was nice. And it makes me laugh like, that's fucking dumb. You know? Like JoJo. Like, I laugh at JoJo. I don't... But, like, I'm not the kind of person that's like, man, did you fucking see that thing? That was, like, the greatest thing ever. It's either, like, that was stupid enough to make me laugh, or it was just like, I forgot about it. And that's why I'm really in on JoJo, because it's so retarded. But this comes from my perspective of, like, ironic humor. So, like, I don't know. I like, with D-frag, it's funny, yeah. And I would rewatch it. I mean, I did for this, and I would have anyway, if I ever felt like it. But it's not the kind of thing that I feel like carries a lot with it. It's just a joke or two.
Okay.
I don't know about nerds. Anything else?
Nah. I was gonna say marshmallows, because that's like the sweetness thing again, so I'm not gonna say that. That's it. I guess it could be shrimp, since it doesn't have any like harem plots or anything.
Yeah, it doesn't have really anything going on besides the jokes.
If it did, I would give another analogy, but it doesn't, so...
It really doesn't! I wish there was something else going on, but there isn't. And you know what? That doesn't bother me. I don't feel like it's missing something. It's just not as good as other things. Like, I would like Fujimura Kumetsu way more. But that didn't get a show, you know? Which, you know what? I feel like we should do that for one of our weeks. Although, I don't know how good you are at fucking reading the manga and keeping up, considering how many things you do. Or how many things I do. Like, I could probably read it. I don't know, man. Like, tell me, how many episodes of D-frag did you watch?
4.
Yeah, see? And that's what the show is, 12 episodes, and you had like an entire...
Yeah, but I watched 2 seasons of Dog Days in like 2 days.
Yeah, so, I don't know.
It depends on how good the manga is. Like, I guess with D-frag didn't really hit me.
I think it's like a D-frag with like more to it. I like to think of Fujimura Kumetsu as like D-frag with actual stuff going on. Like the further, you know, like Titsubama Tashiba, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, there's jokes there, but there's actually something else going on also. Now, I feel that Jitsuwa Watashiwa has way more going on than Fujimura Kumetsu, but I also realize that has to do with the writer, and the writer usually writing really intense kind of stuff. Versus Fujimura Kumetsu is not really like that. It has way more going on the D-frag, but you know.
I could try it.
Yeah, I don't know. I would totally reread it and be super in on it the entire time, but I don't know how much you would read. And I mean, it's finished, so it's not getting new chapters anytime soon or anything. But I think it's like 100 some odd chapters, and I don't know if you're really ready to buckle down on that. To really appreciate it, you have to tie it off, you know? And that's what I mean by, like, I don't know if we should do that. Like, I feel like if I was going to pick a manga, it had to be something that's kind of tight and short, like a horror thing or something. Like, something that you could, that only has like 1 or 2 volumes, and then you could kill it really quick. And I wanted to pick something like fucking Deathtopia, it'd be like, oh shit, we're gonna be here a minute. Like, remember how we talked about the Fuka TV show and not the manga, because the manga is so much to talk about?
Yeah.
You're the one who always hates, like, going past a certain time limit. So I don't really want to fucking put you on a 6-hour chat.
Yeah. Fine. It's fair.
Yeah.
Cause
Alright.
Nyanko is like 2 hours of editing. Yeah.
That's not that long, honestly. To edit, that's not that
Well,
long.
I was adding the pictures and stuff too.
Yeah, but you sure don't shoot that shit no more.
Nope.
I
I mean, really, he was gonna look through all the pictures.
was gonna say, like, yeah, I don't know if you guys felt that that's like a downgrade, but like, it didn't really fucking change anything, did it? I like to think that you didn't come here just to look at like a slideshow for an hour and a half. I like to think that you came here to listen to us say dumb bullshit. But hey, who knows? Maybe you were here for the slideshow, and you're just like now accepting that it's not going to be a slideshow. Did you
They're
imagine?
just like, oh, there's no more
Did you imagine?
slideshow.
They're like, oh, we're never gonna get back to this. I don't know. I felt like maybe by episode 20, you would have realized we would have like the slideshow. You would have put it back. It's like, nope, nope, we're done. Because this was Isaiah's project, and he was like, oh, this is fun. And then he gets to episode 3, he's like, fuck, I don't want to keep doing that. And then he just stops.
Really, who's gonna look through all of them?
Yeah, I get your point. I'm just saying it's really funny to watch it keep going for a while, and then like I feel like I sensed that in episode 3 you were like, I mean, no one's gonna fucking care, and that's why you stopped.
Yeah.
Like it became about expectation rather than what you wanted to do. That's so funny to me. About as funny as some of the D-frag jokes. Alright, and on that note, we're gonna go now. That really got you?
Like, just the way to segue it off after an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah. Oh shit, it's been an hour and 10? I would have figured it's only been like 40, because we really didn't say much.
We took a long time to...
Just do the food?
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, could be worse. Could be a lot worse.
It could be a peppermint
Could be a
patty.
20-minute episode.
It could be a peppermint patty.
Could be a York peppermint patty.
Yeah.
Fucking Takashi Kaji. Alright, and on that note, we're gonna say goodbye. And thank you for listening. And I mean, if you're still here, you get it.
Yeah, you guys get it.
Yeah, alright, bye.